People always say you never know what someone is going through, but that morning, in the crowded city marketplace where voices clashed, vendors shouted, and footsteps rushed in every direction, no one paid attention to the thin young woman standing silently beside a small food stall. Except the billionaire who would later say that moment changed his life forever. Before we begin, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because stories like this, you won't want to miss what happens at the end. Her name was Alina. She held a small velvet pouch in her trembling hands, pressed tightly against her chest as if it contained her lifeline, because it did. It was her only treasure, the last valuable thing she owned from her mother. A silver locket, simple but beautiful, engraved with a tiny rose at the center. Her mother used to say, "Whenever life feels heavy, hold this close and remember you're stronger than your struggles." But hunger doesn't listen to memories. It only grows louder. Alina hadn't eaten in 2 days. She worked part-time cleaning tables at a cafe, but the cafe had closed for renovation, leaving her without income. She had searched for work everywhere across the city but was turned down again and again. So now she stood in the market, her lips dry, knees shaking, trying to bargain with a street vendor for a small plate of food. She placed the velvet pouch in her palm and whispered, "Please, can you take this? Just one meal." People around her barely noticed, too busy with their own lives. But across the street stood Alexander Hale, a billionaire known for owning half the city's luxury hotels. No one recognized him because, for once, he wasn't surrounded by bodyguards or fancy suits. He wore a simple jacket, sunglasses, and walked the market alone to clear his mind from the stress of meetings and responsibility. But when his eyes accidentally met the desperation in Alina's, something inside him paused. He watched the vendor open the pouch. The man's eyebrows lifted slightly. "This is real silver," he murmured, but the vendor shrugged after a moment. "I don't need this kind of trouble. I only accept money." He pushed the pouch back. Alina swallowed, pain rushing through her chest. "Please, my mother's locket. Take it. I just need some food." The vendor hesitated. The crowd was thick, the air smelled of roasted corn and spices, and somewhere a child was laughing. It was a normal day for everyone, except her. Finally, the vendor sighed and handed her a small plate of rice and chicken. "Fine. Take it. But I can't give you its full value. I'll keep this." Alina nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks, not because she had food, but because she had just given away the last memory of the woman who raised her. The moment she walked away with the plate, holding it like it was gold, Alexander followed slowly, curious, confused, and strangely moved by what he had witnessed. She sat on a concrete bench near the fountain in the center of the marketplace. Children splashed their hands, women chatted loudly, and teenagers filmed dance videos, but Alina sat alone, staring at her food instead of eating it. Her shoulders shook. Alexander approached gently. "Excuse me," he said softly. She looked up, startled, wiping her eyes quickly. Sorry, I won't bother anyone. I'll eat fast and leave." "You're not bothering me," he replied. He sat on the far end of the bench, giving her space. "I saw what happened back there." Her face flushed with embarrassment. "Please, I don't want pity." "It isn't pity," he said. "It's concern. Why did you give away something so valuable just for one meal?" Alina hesitated before speaking. "It belonged to my mother. She died 2 years ago. And I've been trying to survive on my own ever since." Her voice cracked. "I tried so hard to keep that locket, but what's a memory worth when you're starving?" Alexander felt a pang in his chest. A strange feeling, one he hadn't felt in years. "What if," he said slowly, "I told you the vendor didn't know its real value?" She looked confused. "What do you mean? That locket," he continued, "wasn't just silver. It's handcrafted, antique, probably worth thousands." Her breath caught. "Thousands." He nodded. "Maybe even more. But you sold it for a plate of food." She lowered her head, shame washing over her again. "I didn't know, I never checked. And even if I knew, I had no choice." Alexander studied her gently. The crowd behind them kept moving, laughing, living, but their moment stayed still. "What's your name?" "Alina." "I'm Alex," he said, keeping his true identity private for now. "Let me buy you another meal. Something warm. Something more than this." She shook her head. "No, you've already seen too much. I don't want to be a charity case." He smiled softly. "You're not. You're someone who made a brave choice in a hard moment." That takes strength. For the first time, she met his eyes, something fragile flickering in her expression, hope. Alexander walked with her to a nearby cafe inside the marketplace. They sat by the window where sunlight spilled over the table. Alina ate slowly, savoring every bite. Alexander listened as she told him her story, how she had dreams of studying design, how she lost everything after her mother's illness, how she worked small jobs, slept in shelters, and lived day by day. Her resilience stunned him. "What do you want most right now?" he asked gently. She looked out the window at the bustling market. "A chance," she whispered. "Just a chance to build a life. I don't need luxury. Just a stable job. A small place to stay. A place where I don't have to choose between hunger and memories." Alexander took a deep breath. He couldn't stay silent anymore. "Alina, I can give you the chance." She frowned. "How? You don't know me." "I know enough," he said. "I know you gave up your last treasure for food. I know you're strong. And I know you're honest, because you didn't try to hide your struggle." He paused before revealing it. "My full name is Alexander Hale." Her eyes widened. People in the cafe had stopped whispering the moment they heard the name. He was famous everywhere. "You're the billionaire," she breathed, shocked. "Yes. And I want to offer you a job." "But why me?" "Because sometimes," he replied, "the people who have the least teach us the most. You reminded me today that humanity still exists. And someone like you deserves a chance to rise." Tears welled in her eyes, but this time they weren't from pain. "What kind of job?" "A design assistant at my company. Training included. And a small apartment near our office, for free until you can stand on your feet." Alina's hand flew to her mouth. "I can't accept this, it's too much." "It's not charity," he said. "It's belief. Believe in yourself the way I believe in you." At that moment, the vendor who had taken her locket walked into the cafe, holding the velvet pouch. He approached them nervously. "Miss, I didn't feel right keeping this. Something told me to give it back." He placed the pouch in front of her. Alina stared, stunned. Her mother's locket was back, in the very moment her life was changing. She clutched it to her heart, sobbing softly. "Thank you," she whispered, to both men before her. Alexander smiled. "Looks like life is giving you more than a chance today. It's giving you a new beginning." In the crowded public marketplace where thousands passed without noticing her, one moment had changed everything. From surrendering her last treasure for a meal, to gaining hope, dignity, and a future, Alina's story proved that even in the loudest, busiest places, someone's silent struggle can be seen, and someone's life can be transformed. And for all of you watching, remember, kindness is a power you carry with you. If this story touched your heart, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. Because one act of compassion, just one, can change everything.